A federal judge's son has been shot and killed and her husband critically wounded just days after the judge was assigned a case related to the notorious Jeffrey Epstein. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest killings surrounding Epstein and how it does appear to be a part of a whole series of cover-ups that involve a corrupt political class that is absolutely beginning to panic. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. I'm coming to you from beautiful Outer Banks in North Carolina. I'm here with my family. We're having a wonderful time together, but I certainly wanted to make sure you still get plenty of videos analyzing current events, analyze some super awesome conservative trends, so that you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. It'd be an absolute privilege to have you as a regular part of this channel as we daily celebrate, yes, the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. Now, before we dive in here, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's Prepper's Peak new solar water heater. Now, with all the lockdowns that we've just witnessed over the last several weeks, this solar water heater can turn out to be our very best friend. Solar water heater is an amazing device that allows you to boil and heat water outdoors using simply sunlight. It can heat water in as little as 30 minutes and it'll work anywhere the sun shines. You can use it to boil water, to cook noodles and rice. You can sterilize your water for drinking. Hello, campers. It's easy to clean. It can be used anywhere there's sunlight. And the best part is that if you click on the link below, you'll get 15% off. So what can be better? Don't wait. Click on that link below before they sell out and get your own Patriot Sun cooker today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Very, very bizarre twist in the whole Jeffrey Epstein saga. A gunman posing as a FedEx driver shot the husband of a federal judge who just days ago was assigned a case with links to the notorious child molester Jeffrey Epstein. The shooting took place at around 5 p.m. on Sunday evening, the 19th. Mark Anderl, the husband of Judge Esther Salas, answered the front door for what he thought was a FedEx deliverer. He shot several times, and their 20-year-old son, Daniel, when he came to investigate the commotion, he was shot, and unfortunately, he did die from his gun wounds. The husband is in critical condition. The judge was in the basement during the attack, and she was uninjured. The gunman reportedly fled the scene. Now, according to Bloomberg, this Judge Salas, she was just assigned to a case linked to Epstein. It involves Deutsche Bank, who are being accused of failing to disclose to their investors that they had not taken appropriate protective measures with former high-risk clients like Epstein. So it's not at this point clear whether or not the shooting was related to the Epstein case or better an extension of the Epstein saga now involving Deutsche Bank. But given the fact that Epstein has already gotten himself perished, and now his one-time mistress and madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, is in custody and is prepared to sing, you have to wonder the extent to which this rather obvious silencing campaign, this rather obvious attempt to silence those who are in the know, who are getting investigated, you have to wonder how far such a silencing campaign is extending. Now, this latest shooting is indeed bringing to the fore, once again, the epidemic of degeneracy and debauchery that's associated with the whole Jeffrey Epstein saga. When all is said and done, the whole Epstein saga demonstrates the otherwise unbelievable level of vile debauchery that characterizes our ruling political class. Epstein proved just how much you can get away with if you have enough power and money, especially that power and money comes from blackmailing some of the most powerful and influential people in the world. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Polish psychologist Andrew Lobachevsky. He studied Marxists for 40 years. He studied Marxist elite. He studied the Nazi elite, the political class. It's a field of study called politico-ponerology. Ponerology comes from the Greek poneros, which means evil. So it's a study of political evil. And this fellow Lobachevsky concluded that all of these Marxist elite really are psychopaths. And when the world is run by psychopaths, it becomes hysterical. It literally becomes insane. And I frankly couldn't diagnose this whole Epstein situation better than that. Epstein and the Democrats and the Democratic communication wing known as the mainstream media, our corporatist globalist media, they really are, when all is said and done, they are psychotic. I mean, there's no point in trying to figure them out. They care nothing, not one whit about these young girls. They don't give a rip about justice. They don't care about Epstein and what he did. They don't care about the admitted indiscretions of Bill Clinton. All they care about is power. That's it. That's all they care about, is their own power, their own elite status in a globalized world that rules the masses in accordance with the supposedly salvific whims of a secular aristocratic elite into which these useful idiots in the corporatist media have been admitted. And Democrats in politics and media work together to try to pull off this charade. You may remember when James O'Keefe and Project Veritas leaked an uncovered video of Amy Robach of ABC News talking to her producer, and what she had to say about the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing and how the executives at ABC covered it up. It was a hot mic moment, and it was caught back in August of last year when the whole Epstein thing began to spin out of control. Do you remember this? So Epstein got himself perished. I think it was August 10th of last year. And this is when Robach went on this rant to her producer that was caught on video. And according to Robach, ABC News is guilty of covering up substantial evidence of not only Epstein's pedophilia, but also Bill Clinton's involvement with Epstein, as well as Prince Andrew. There were threats, particularly from the royal family. And ABC News decided to cover up the investigation and to kill the story. Now, of course, the lead reporter here, this lady named Amy Robach, she was absolutely livid. She could have been forever known as the one who broke the story on Epstein and his elite club of the who's who of globalist perverts. This would have been the hallmark of her journalistic career. But instead, she got silenced. She was silenced by fellow globalist elite media executives. But now that Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested, the confidant of Jeffrey Epstein, the alleged madam who helped arrange Epstein's sexual abuse of underage girls, now that she's in custody, the entire Jeffrey Epstein case that was closed because of his death is being reopened. It's now game on all over again in the court of law, right? Up to this point, all the evidence, all the supposed videos, all the documentation detailing who, what, when, and where for some of the most prominent leftist liberals and Democrats have been locked away because of Epstein's death. And any hope of them being brought out and exposed in a court of law was lost due to his death. And then here comes Ghislaine Maxwell, and boom, these things are ready to come out again. That's why her arrest several weeks back was so huge. It's indeed being reported that Maxwell does believe that Epstein was murdered, as does Robach, by the way, the ABC News correspondent. She's absolutely convinced Epstein was murdered. And Maxwell, of course, is concerned about her own life in all of this. She was just denied bail, so she'll be in a Brooklyn prison for the next year awaiting her trial. And now with this shooting involving a judge assigned to an Epstein case, her son killed, her husband in critical condition, things are beginning to get really interesting indeed. So obviously we'll be keeping our eyes on how things develop here. But at this point, there's little question. The Epstein case is one of the most intriguing exposures of the debauchery of our political class, and it increasingly appears that the revelations are only just beginning. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my video I just uploaded on a Black Lives Matter statue getting torn down and thrown in a dumpster after just standing for one day. In fact, we're going to find that BLM murals are getting defaced everywhere across the country in a massive backlash against these ultra-Marxists. You're going to love the fact that they're getting a taste of their own medicine. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.